Well, here's the thing. There's that phenomenon where like if you're an advanced dancer, you're supposed to dance in the outer lane.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you can show off your partner and the outside lane moves well. But I find like in America, the outside lane does not move.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, because like you don't have a good point man. Dude, I'll be your point man. It's all right, you know. I mean,
that's why you see me in the center. All right, we're here to talk about
navigation.
All right, so a lot of you hear this a lot from a lot of organizers. They're just like, can you please navigate well and watch out for other people? Like it's a very easy task.
You know, navigation means go around counter-clockwise and not bumping each other. Like, come on.
Got it.
It's way more than that.
It's way more than that.
Way more than that.
So the interesting thing is that navigation is this complex thing. And we're actually going to start off a little graph here. So what you're looking at here, this is yourself, this circle. Now let's bring in the other circle here. This is your partner. Where these two things meet is dancing well together, you and your partner. Now let's bring in this third circle here. This third circle is music. So I'm dancing with my partner, dancing to the music with my partner. Now the fourth circle is navigation. And so you have all these four, and see this middle part here, that's where we're supposed to be as a tango lead navigating the milonga. I have to pay attention to my partner, to the music, and now everybody else around me. And that is not it's just easy as go around the dance floor counterclockwise and stay in your lane.
Yeah, it's a lot more than that. And here's the other thing. So, you know, we pay attention to the music, right? And I hope we're on beat. At least I hope I am. But not only that, we have to anticipate everyone else's dance. We have to know the repertoire, what they can do in those areas. And in addition to that, what if they're offbeat? Like you're going forward and it's like, oh no, half beat, like, abort.
Those wild cards.
You know, so like, you know, there's always that person, or you know, there's that one, there's pros who just, you know, they come in like a Tasmanian devil sometimes. It's like, I'm making room. Woo! You know, it's like, dude.
Yeah, but wait. Yeah.
You know, it's tough. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do some bullish movements also, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you gotta have some grit, and like you gotta not be afraid to get hurt too, because there's that fear. Because like sometimes I feel that it's like skiing, you know. No, look, I know, really off topic, right? It's like skiing because the thing that you fear is gonna hurt you. Like that's why I like in skiing you're supposed to like look at where you're going, right? You don't look at the tree, because if you keep on looking at the tree, which is what you're scared of, you hit the tree. No, because you do, because like your body always lines up to what you're looking at.
I see.
And then you end up hitting the tree. So you're
interesting.
If you're freaking out, you're like, oh no, there's a tree. I want to turn away, but you're, you know, just like you know, if your body's torqued, it naturally goes back to alignment again. So you're gonna hit that tree. So sometimes I feel that there's a bit of risk that needs to be taken, because if you're too hesitant, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're gonna get nailed.
Well, if I could say one thing that would help all navigation, is for all leaders to stop taking the back step. That is the big one. Like the people that take the back step against the line of dance is the killer. The only time I take a back step against the line of dance is if I make a quick movement going forward and then I make a quick movement. Unless you're like the Tasmanian devil and you can, in a half second, you took that spot that I left, then so be it. That's my fault. But I'm going to be grist that I'm going to take this front and go back here in that amount of time. Someone shouldn't be there. But the people that do the super slow, long back step, that is the killer.
Yeah, well, I think for me, the killer is the guy who is too hesitant to move forward. You know, like the log jam.
The log jam creates just a traffic nightmare.
Because it's like
405.
Because the thing is, you gotta put pressure. Sometimes if it's really packed, you kind of have to put pressure on the guy ahead of you. So he puts pressure on the guy ahead of him. So there's actually some circulation. Otherwise, you're just like, you're just clogging the arteries, and like, you're just causing like, you're causing a stroke on, on the dance floor.
But the thing is, Rob, I want to dance with my partner. I'm in the moment. I don't care about you. Let me have my moment with my partner with the music.
Yeah.
Because if I worry about you, I'm taking away my moment with my partner and the music.
Yeah, and that's the difficulty of the navigation, is that you have to be in the moment, but you also have the responsibility to the floor, to the whole ronda. That's because I could have my moment, right, and I could not move, and now everyone's supposed to move around me. There's a bit of like give and take here, and I think that there is that give and take where you have to kind of comply with everybody, and like you're not just dancing with yourself. You're dancing with everybody.
But that takes a lot of skill, right? Don't get me wrong. I love navigating when there's a crowded floor if it's very talented dancers. I mean, at some festivals and some marathons, I trail like really good dancers just to be like in the path of the hurricane. So it's like nice. Like, oh, I know that they're not going to go back against me. I'm just going to give them their space. They'll give me my space. And then hopefully someone behind me will do the same. And if you just find a buddy behind and in front, you kind of have like this nice little like, I don't know, like,
train.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, you got like the windbreaker in front. Snow plow.
Yeah, it's really nice if you have people that move like that, and we can synergize and move, and I can predict their movements. I know they're not going to do this.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. See, that guy in the front, the point man, has to put pressure for people to either move forward or get out of the way, for that to happen. Because then you're falling behind them, right? And and you can slow down when you realize, oh yeah, he needs some space. He needs to slow down too. But the thing is, that guy, that point man, dude, that he's got to be like the bulldozer in a sense. I'm not saying be a jerk and run people over, but I am saying that
you got to take the space.
Yeah, he's got to he's got to take space. He's got to put pressure. He doesn't have to like lean on people like it's like a boxing match. Like, no people's elbow or anything. But I mean, but he's got to put some. He's got to like use that space and like use his energy to put pressure on people. Like his intention should not only move his partner, but should move the people in front of him.
Well, here's the thing. There's that phenomenon where like if you're an advanced dancer, you're supposed to dance in the outer lane.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you can show off your partner and the outside lane moves well. But I find like in America, the outside lane does not move.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, because like you don't have a good point man. Dude, I'll be your point man. It's all right, I mean,
that's why you see me in the center. I'm like in the center because I'm gonna be moving. I can navigate well. Just give me the center spot. I'll dance in the circle.
Yeah, but I got size on my side. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna like lean into people, and I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, this is what Jorge taught me. This is what Leandro taught me, and because like I asked. Sometimes like, hey, if someone doesn't move, what do you do? He's like, this is what you do. You're like, protect Boza. No, protect the woman. Lead in.
Protect the woman. Yes. That's true.
So I do take a lot of back steps. I take a lot of back steps forward into the people.
Oh my god. I do protect the follower I'm dancing with. I will say I put my body on the line many times, right? Where I just kind of like box out like basketball and just like So there is that. I will say a lot of accidents happen when the inside lane goes to the outside lane.
Yeah.
That I see all the time.
Oh, I see the guy who doesn't know which lane he's in, and he's in between lanes.
In between lanes.
Yeah, because he thinks he could create his own lane in between. He's not a motorcycle.
And he's just weaving through.
No, not even weaving. It's like, okay, there's lane 1, there's lane 2, and he's in lane 1.5.
I'm just gonna stand right here.
He's riding the line,
That's funny.
Yeah, no. But I mean, so that's bad. But I think the other thing with navigation is a certain amount of respect, because I think that sometimes the bigger the floor, the more crowded it is, the more nameless spaces there are. The more likely the more likely there's going to be someone who's going to disrespect the floor because they can get away with it. Like, oh, it's just another nameless space.
Just a PC, another random.
Yeah. Because I mean, okay, at Tango House, we had like 150 people on like our living room floor, which is like less than 10 by 10.
Yeah.
It's probably more like 8x6.
True.
8x7.
We invited a lot of advanced dancers.
Yeah, but part of that, even the non-advanced dancers, when we had like rookies come in, where like you and Giant had like 3 weeks with them, they had no problem navigating. And what is that? I think a lot of it is because we all know each other, we all respect each other, and even if there was a little nudge, it's like, hey, it's all good. It's Derek, it's Rob. It's like, you know, it's not a big deal. But like, you know, some NPC nudges you, it's like, what the, you know, like, you gotta start a fight because, you know what, in BA, we carry knives. Like, you know, like, no, man, no.
Well, it's funny because a lot of these people that are just really bad navigators, they're actually nice people when you talk to them. Just on the dance floor, they become something else.
Well, okay.
That's what's so interesting.
So are they bad navigators because they're aggressive, or are they bad navigators because they're oblivious?
They're oblivious. They want to dance their dance, and if you focus on, like I said, if you're focused on the external, you tend to, the internal thing goes away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but so this is what I see a lot with bad navigators, and I'm guilty of this like my first 3 years, and that is this: especially if you are a figures junkie, you don't. A lot of figures junkies do not know how to break and stop the figure.
They just know the chain, and
they know the chain, and it's like, I gotta keep it going, you know, out of my way, hog. Like, can't stop, you know. No, I was guilty of that also, you know. I mean, because you built up the muscle memory so much that you don't know how to break it. So I think that's the first thing, and as much as I love figures, I would actually like to see when people teach figures, like, don't teach like a 12-step figure. Teach a 4-step figure. Then teach another 4-step figure, and then show how they link. So people could do one 4-step figure, another 4-step figure, another 4-step figure, and then mix and match them like Legos. Yeah, it doesn't have to go. It doesn't have to go A B C. It could go C B A. It could be A C B. You know.
You want the bucket of Legos. You don't want the Lego.
You don't want the
Star Wars.
Yeah, you don't want like the chain where like it has to go in that order.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, going back to John Pero, you know, he did that. He had a great series where he taught, I think, 3 different figures and how they link together. Where like you can do this here, you can do that there. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where he had the snail, the snake,
the names to remember.
Yeah. So that's something I'd like to see local teachers do to help with navigation, because sometimes when the catastrophes that happen, I swear a lot of it is because people don't know that there's a break. Like they're just driving. It's either excel or slow down. There's no break. There's no stop. You know.
I mean, that's a good question for all of you watching out there. What are some classes that you have taken? Did those teachers focus on compact movements or smaller movements like Rob's talking about, with less steps or less movements in the figure? Leave in the comments to let us know. We'd be really interested to see what you all think about that.
Yeah, and also we'd like to hear some comments on how do you think navigation can improve? What can you do, or what can you suggest for teachers to contribute, or what do you do to help improve navigation?
You know what, in LA, I feel like you don't have to be good at navigation in LA because we have such big dance floors.
Well, yeah,
usually there's a lot of room. I mean, when is it ever that packed? And when it's that packed, most people don't like it and don't want to dance. So
I'd have to say this. When we were coming up, there was a lot of tight, small dance floors.
There was.
Floriditas.
Yes, that was the big one.
Yep.
The small.
There was a lot of the odd spaces.
Grand Casino.
Yep.
The narrow bar, just kind of like.
Well, not only that was a weird like trapezoid. Like,
yeah.
That was rough. But also like, you know, a lot of the rooms in M3 were kind of small too.
That's true.
You know. But you know, we also had like the big grand ballrooms where like everyone went, like the Warner Center for LAX.
Yeah.
You know, Tango Mio. Even Querida was fairly big. You know, I think Luna was a little smaller, but still fairly big. Not El Floridita size.
No.
But I think like kind of the art of dancing tight and dancing in small spaces have kind of gone away. You know, because everyone's like, you know, I'm just gonna go for these big spaces now. And you know, I'd like to see small spaces come back, and I think small spaces will come back.
You know what they say a lot about our town in LA is that we have a lot of stage dancers here. People we're looked at as a more flashy community.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's kind of our MO. We have a lot of people that want to do these stage crazy things and they take up a lot of room in the Milonga.
Yeah, well, then throw them in the middle.
Throw them in the middle.
No, because seriously, like, if you want to be a Tasmanian devil, go in the middle. You know, like I'll box you in. You know, but I think it's sad for me to hear that about LA because I think LA, there's many faces of LA. Like we do have our stagey dancers, we do have our flashy dancers, we do have like our close embrace dancers.
Yeah.
We do have our open embrace dancers that kind of keep it tight still. And we have like some people who
Nuevo dancers.
Yeah. We have all sorts of dancers here because I don't think that one teacher or one style has become like prevalent so much.
We have a lot of styles.
Yeah,
for sure.
So and a lot of personalities. So you know, it as much as I love stage dancing, it kind of hurts me to hear that that's a reputation of LA.
Yeah, that is. It's interesting because there are reputations from other communities too, and I wonder if we are the worst in terms of navigation.
I would say that LA is probably one of the worst for navigations. Now that we've, you know, LFRF is kind of gone and all our small spaces are gone, I do think that because I've gone to other places where like it's small and like they can go very well, and I think part of the problem is people don't know what to do with nothing. I mean, not like small spaces. I'm talking about
the silence.
Yeah, like
the pause.
Like they hear 4 beats, you know, they hear 4 beats, 8 beats, and they can't just take one step. You know, one of the things that Jonathan and Clarissa said recently in the workshops at SoCal was that the hardest thing for them was to be silent and choose what they dance to.
Right.
You know, where like they can be more expressive, like I'm gonna dance to that thing and go crazy.
Yeah.
And then like boom, like they're not moving. They're like just, you know, they're priming. You know.
Interesting.
And I don't think I think LA used to do that. I don't think they do it anymore. And I think that if anything, we should really think about going back to that idea of choosing what to dance to, because people just run now. You know, it's like they hear beat, 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 they're gonna run. You know, there's no stopping. There's no.
Well, we are known for being like a D'Arienzo town.
Yep. I do like my D'Arienzo.
D'Arienzo town.
Yeah, but who doesn't like D'Arienzo?
That's true.
You know. But I'd like to be a Colo town. I'd like to.
I love Colo, yes.
You know, or Troilo town. Well, Troilo's a little rambunctious.
I wonder what other towns classify themselves as.
Yeah. So let's hear from you guys. You know, where are you coming from? And are you a D'Arienzo town? Are you a DeSarli town? What kind of town are you?
Pugliese town, Troilo town.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good question, because with Pugliese, I don't see too many places that play a lot of like it's usually one Pugliese a night. I think
in LA we get at least 2.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Like for the
one for the mid and one for the late.
Yeah, but that's like for the later, for the ones that go late. But like now we're kind of closing early now. You know, like, I mean, LA Tango Academy, they closed at midnight.
Well, I think that's a trend that's actually countrywide. I think a lot of people actually prefer more of the earlier hours. Yeah. Afternoon milongas are always popular. People love the afternoon milongas or early schedule here in LA. But I think that since the pandemic, people just don't want to stay up late.
Yeah, no, I don't either. But
I do.
Oh,
I want to get there at midnight and dance till 3 or 4.
Well, you're still a spring chicken, man. I'm reaching my. I'm hitting the wall, man. I'm hitting the wall. No, but it makes you wonder. Like, does that change the culture of navigation? Like now that we're moving to the daytime, does that change navigation a bit? Because maybe now they could have more spacious places. Maybe they could wear more comfortable clothes.
Right.
Does that change navigation?
Does that change navigation?
And also because people tend to be more risky in terms of who they dance with during the daytime.
During the daytime or nighttime? Nighttime people are more risk adverse.
Oh no, I said they're willing to be more risky.
Oh, in the afternoon, they're more just like they'll dance with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like then like does that make navigation worse? Because now it's like, okay, you're not choosing the best of the best to dance with. You know, so yeah.
But I guess we didn't answer the solution to this navigation thing. We said it was hard. We said stop making it sound like it's so easy. But is there a solution?
My solution is more socials. I'm not talking about tango socials. I'm talking about take the people in tango and like have them do something non-tango together. Because I seriously feel it's a respect thing. Because like I said, when we talk about Tango House, we had 150 people. I mean, there were good dancers, there were new dancers, there was a scale of dancers,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like you and I were at Brian's level or anything.
Mm-hmm. That's
so,
true.
we're like probably, back then we're probably like mid-level.
Yeah.
You haven't won your third place yet.
Yeah. No.
I was still getting knocked out in qualifiers. There's a big assortment of people, and I think a lot of it is just a matter of respect. And the more you see people, the more you're familiar with them, the less you treat people like NPCs. Yeah, I think respect goes a long way.
But I also think that when people are taking their first tango lessons, that yes, it is important to care about your partner, but it is important to zoom out of that. It's kind of like if you're playing for those of you who play video games out there, there's the first person shooter where you see just the screen and the little crosshair, and then there's the third person view where you see the character that moves. I feel like a lot of people in LA are the first person, they only see this, where we should actually be more of the third person view, and you see your character move across the thing.
Yeah.
That's how we should be more, zoom out a little bit.
How do you zoom out?
How do I zoom out? I just pay attention to my surroundings while I'm dancing. I know that you're there, and just as I move.
Yeah, but to me, that's more peripheral vision. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but what I'm getting to is how do you get people to sharpen their peripheral vision?
Well, one, by not closing your eyes the entire if it's crowded.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. Okay, I know ladies love to close their eyes because it's so magical, right? But sometimes guys need a little help.
That's true. I've been saved a lot of times.
I've been saved. The
last tug at the end, and okay, like that.
Because sometimes I can't see everything. I can't.
No, there's a blind spot. We have a blind spot.
And also sometimes it's dark.
It is. Yeah, that's true.
So help us out. Help me help you. Help me help you. Seriously, keep your eye every night. I mean, you can still feel good with your eyes open. Or just sacrifice a little bit to make sure everyone.
Well, I mean, if it's crowded, yes, I think that you definitely shouldn't be closing your eyes. Yeah. But usually when there's more room, you can get away with more.
Yeah. No, I get you. You can put on cruise control. I totally get it. But if we're just talking about navigation in general, I don't think it should be solely on the leads.
True.
Because here's the thing. It's what if I want, of course, the cardinal sin, what if I do want to take a back step? I need my eyes and I need your help, or what if, what if someone's just going to plow in through you? I could be standing there, there's a rocket coming straight at me.
Sometimes you got to extend the arm out.
No, but it's behind me. I need the follower to let me know. There's danger behind me. Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
Wrecking ball coming out of Indiana Jones style.
Yeah, I mean, how would I know? Because how many times have you just stood there, just getting ready, just breathing? You just got on the floor, you're just breathing.
You're
yeah, it's dude, really? It's I'm standing here.
I'm walking here.
but seriously, sometimes it's like that. So I mean, in a sense, I can only see, I don't have great peripheral vision, but I can only see this, maybe a little more than 45 degrees, maybe 6 degrees this way,
Yeah.
That's what I can see. I mean, I've turned my head to see this way. Yeah. The one thing I would say though, is that a lot of classes, they teach figures, but I don't see them teaching change of face.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Changing the front?
Yeah. You do the baldosa, right? It's always da 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 da,
Yeah.
Forward, right, back. Oh, no, sometimes, together, whatever. Mm-hmm. Left, forward. But I don't see people do a lot of forward, turn your body to this way, another side, you don't see that a lot. And I think doing the change of front, change of face really helps you get a whole holistic 360 view. Not only does it make the dance interesting and more dynamic,
yeah,
because you can do something very simple like a box step, just forward, right, back, left. But if you do it and you're always changing the angles, and in a sense, creating a straight line with the forward, right, the back, you still get that vision of what's going on around you. And I think I'd like to see more of that in classes, like whatever figure you do, to have a change of front, change of face, so that you have the opportunity to see like around you 360.
Oh, that's a good one. I remember, I forget whose lesson it was, but we actually practiced like navigating and like protecting your follower like all the time. Like he would try to like run in, I would try to cut it off. I forget whose class it was, but I thought that was pretty genius.
I had practice with Jorge Torres, and that's what he did. Like,
don't let me get you.
No, he was like, walking, and he's like, go around me, go around me, go around me. He just like get in my way. He's like, I'm going this way, and you gotta go around. So sometimes you need a little obstacle course training. I went through that. Unfortunately, that's also how I developed my elbows.
Throwing bows, ludicrous over here.
Nice. Whatever it takes to protect the follower, short from throwing somebody.
Well, long story short, there is no real easy solution to navigation. It is something we're always facing and we're trying to get better at. If you have any other solutions, like we said earlier in the video, let us know in the comment section. Thank y'all so much for watching. We are Left Foot, Right Foot. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you click that notification bell so you can get all the updates, and make sure you subscribe to our channel.
We greatly appreciate it, and it'd go a long way in helping us grow this channel and put out more content.